John Hope Bryant's message of strength through entrepreneurship, economic empowerment, and financial literacy is powerful for us all. John is a social entrepreneur and businessman who founded the nonprofit Operation Hope 2 decades ago in response to the despair and destruction of the 1992 LA riots. Under the banner of Civil Rights, Operation Hope has helped more than 2.8 million individuals worldwide and directed more than $2.7 billion in economic activity to underserved communities. John says his world changed as a boy when a well-dressed banker came to his elementary school in Compton, California. The banker was there to talk about financial education for young people. And from that day forward, Bryant says he has been involved in business, starting his first venture at the age of 10 with a modest $10 investment from his mother.
You're saying not black, not white, but green, and you're really looking at things through an economic perspective. Can you tell me what you mean by that?
I mean that if your day is not about God or money or love, your day is about money. That's been the way of the world for well, since we've had modern man. You've had transactions, you've had barter trade, you've had valuations, and even sort of blends into love. Like a man can help to create, or in the traditional family, a man can help create the house, but without your mate, your partner, you don't have a home. Or conversely, these days the woman can go create the house, and probably she needs to probably help the man turn that into a home. But that's a partnership, and it is a transfer and a blending of different value and values. All currency is a transfer of values. So money, currency, has no value in and of itself. But how do you build wealth? And that's a different conversation. People confuse making money with building wealth, and wealth is a mindset. And unfortunately, most people never got the memo on how to build wealth. And certain groups, minorities, women, have in some cases intentionally been left out of this equation. I like math because it doesn't have an opinion. It's not emotional. It's not trying to convince you of something. It is what it is. And if you look at the history of America, you go back 400 years to 1619 in Jamestown, Virginia, and you have the first slaves. Now, normally people would start here with some kind of emotional rant. To me, it's very simple. Why we end up today? You literally had a 350-year reverse transfer of wealth. My poor white friends, who are almost as bad a shape as African Americans are, got here and they were made indentured servants, and they had to work off the cost of their transportation. But ultimately, they were able to do that. They were made to be overseers for another group, which were black slaves who could not work themselves off. But the key here is that the harder I work, is my new book, Up From Nothing, coming out in a few months. The harder I work with my hands, the bigger the big house got for my overseer. I'm sorry, in this case, the owner, money, wealth. And so that you look at today, 8% net worth. African Americans have an 8% net worth of their white counterparts. That's a direct correlation. And the word millionaire came from 1850 from New York financiers, where you are now, who were financing cotton, which was white gold in 1850. And the richest city in the world at that time was Natchez, Mississippi, because that was where it all came from. So this has been it was about money then. It's about money now. It's about wealth creation. The question is who's doing it, who's getting it, who's not. We're dealing with George Floyd right now. God rest his soul. That was over $20. And it was in a 570 credit score neighborhood.
So tell us a little bit about Operation Hope.
Operation Hope is today the Starbucks of financial inclusion. We're America's financial coach. We will soon be the Walmart of economic empowerment. We are in 22 states. We have 153 Hope Inside locations. We are helping people with COVID to restructure their mortgages and modify their credit agreements. We're helping them to apply for the CARE Act. It's just sort of this real time with the civil unrest. We were born after the Rodney King riots of 1992 in South Central LA. With what's going on now, I can see us already being mobilized across this country to help the government community and the private sector to put together business plans, strategies to revitalize, not only just rebuild, but to revitalize the neighborhoods that were affected, and it helped to heal some of these breaches. My Black brothers and sisters have to understand that rioting and looting didn't get us anything but burned neighborhoods. And now to say that this stuff creates attention, what do we do with the attention? And I want to attach attention with intention. And I want to connect purpose to the passion. And I want to turn gas into fuel. And that fuel is to have a plan, a business plan for America, the resetting of America, the new America that we want to live in. We do this every 100 years or so. And I want to create the new Walmarts, the new Goldman Sachs, the new UPSs, and the new FedEx. These companies were created 100 years ago, almost all of them. What are we going to do now? What are your viewers going to do right now, up from nothing? In my new book, my new philosophy. What are you going to do right now to live this moment in history? I'll leave you with this quote. History doesn't feel historic when you're sitting in it. It just feels like another day. But that doesn't mean that the moment you're sitting in is actually not historic. It takes 25 years to look back at a moment and see it as historic. But what if you knew right now that that's the moment that you were in? Last week, there was a CNN poll that showed that for the first time, whites, blacks, everybody saw race relations, racial issues as the number one issue, more than economics, more than COVID-19. That's unbelievable. Not just blacks or Latinos or the underserved seeing it as an issue. Everybody's seeing it as an issue. Well, that's a chance. That's an opportunity for us to get it right. And that's what I'm banking on.
Well, I'm so glad that you're taking this opportunity and sharing it with us and so many people, and we hope to share your message as well. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you today. I sincerely appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thanks for giving light.
And if you'd like to learn more about Operation Hope and more details of John Hope Bryant's new Marshall Plan, simply head to the Operation Hope website, and that is operationhope.org. You can also download the new Hope in Hand app, which allows clients to connect with financial coaches free of cost.